All right, next up, guys, we have the namespace. The namespace is the file that's going to interact with everything in your package. This is where you identify what functions you're making available from your R file to users and what you want, where you're pulling from, what methods you're creating, what generics you're using, all these different things. So the one I'm showing you right here is from the GFMR package. Again, I modified this on 5.19.17. I'm importing the fairway, the neural net, and the parallel package. I'm exporting. What I mean is I'm giving the users group fuse multinomial GFMR.cv and then predict.gfmr. Other things I'm giving an S3 method for printing. So I'm saying there's a method print.gfmr that would print objects of GFMR. There's an F3 method predict GFMR, and then there's a print excuse me. There's a print GFMR.cv, and I'm also importing from the stats package, stats, comma, the function standard deviation. Okay, everything else I'm using is from the basics, but that's what it can look like. Now, this is a real simple namespace. Let me show you a much more complex namespace. Let's go to the car package real quick. Go into the namespace. First thing you're going to say is wow. So let's zoom in and let's take a look. This was last modified on 11.25 by John Fox. Import from mass. Bring in this function, this function, this function. Import from neural net, multinom. Import from PBK test, all those functions. Import from MGCV, generalized additive models and the smoothers. From quantile regression, bring these functions. From graphics, bring these. From graphic devices, bring these. From stats, bring all this. From utilities, bring this. From VGAM, bring this. And then export. Here are all the functions it is going to export that the function gives back. Okay? Now, look at all these things. You can see as it's built out, it's become a bigger deal. So you can see everything it's given. And then here are all the methods it brings back. It says there's a confidence ellipse for default, confidence ellipse for GLM, LM. There's a print for squared level plot. There's a QQ plot default, a QQ plot GLM, a QQ plot LM, a scatter 3D default and formula. And then as you go through, you'll see all the methods they've given back, okay? All the methods. It just doesn't have to be generic. These are the methods they are defining to create. So you can see in these really useful packages, they're very complex in how they look up. But when you compare them to a simple one like what I just showed you, they have the same concepts. It's what are you using, what are you giving to somebody, and what are you bringing back, okay? So these are the methods you got to keep thinking about. These are the ideas behind the scenes of our packages. The namespace is something that's very important. If you're pulling it from somewhere, it's an import. If you're trying to send it back to the user, it's an export. If you've had to create a class and a method, you've got to define it as an S3 or an S4 method. My Rich Fusion package is something you guys can look at as examples of S4. The car and GFMR are something you guys can look at as an example of S3. But the idea is what you're doing is you're creating this interactivity between these methods, okay? All right, guys, I know that's short, but really what this is it's what are you giving back to the user? What are you taking from other objects? And what methods have you created? If you got that down, everything else works smoothly. So, all right, guys, let me know if you need anything else. Let me know if you have any questions.